Welcome everyone to another episode of the Hempy Talks. I'm super excited today to have Estelle Delangle here from the European Hemp Hub, which, as far as I know, is the largest hemp organization and the longest in existence in Europe, located in France. So we are going to have very interesting conversation about European Hemp Hub and how Estelle got involved into its story. Estelle, very much warm welcome to the Hempy Talks.
Thank you very much for your invitation. Hello, Beatrix. Very happy to be here.
As a start, I will ask you a question that might come up for many people, that this is an organization that integrates farmers, suppliers, manufacturers, producers, researchers, and the list is endless. Many different people and also organizations are parts of your organization that are related to industrial hemp, and it's huge. The question comes, how did you get to know about them, and what made you join the European Hemp Hub?
Maybe, well, the Hemp European Hub is a very special organization. It's a very special place. It's a little bit newer than what you think because it's not so ancient. There are organizations that are older than the Hemp European Hub. However, indeed, the specificity of the hub is that we gather very, very diverse stakeholders, all related to hemp, close or further related to hemp. How did I know it? Basically, I contributed to create it. I was hired a few years ago before the creation of the hub because at that time they were very historical stakeholders, including La Chambrière, which is the oldest and the biggest hemp processor, sorry, in Europe, but also some technical centers, some companies in the building sectors and the textile centers who decided to gather up and wanted to have a place where we could deal with hemp, not talk about hemp, but deal with hemp issues, whatever the market or the positioning on the value chain, basically. So we decided to create what we call a 360 degrees organization. That is a place where you find farmers, as you said, industrials who, for example, process the plant, but also industrials from all the markets that are opportunities to value hemp, but also public authorities, researchers, and individuals as well, because for us, hemp is a way to accelerate the transitions we need to make. So, and what made me join this adventure is that it's a really hands-on adventure. We are really the feet on the ground. We know what we're doing. We are building projects to develop hemp production, transformation, and uses always further. So when I got this opportunity, I didn't miss it. I didn't know hemp at all. 5 years ago, I just had heard it. I knew there were some hemp in my children's nappies. But there could be some hemp in my children's nappies, but that's all. So the challenge was huge. I like challenges. So that's why I joined, and that's also why I'm still here, because there are still huge challenges.
Absolutely. It is a challenge. A new material is re-entering the market for the umpteenth time with a long history. And because of that, it's innovation, but also it's a challenge in many countries. So rightly, you are saying that. And I liked when you said how it's a 360-degree organization. It's really bringing all together who want to work with industrial hemp. And it's really a nice concept, and to some extent also unique, to bring all the players together. What can the European Hemp Hub provide them? What keeps them being involved and staying as members?
Um, Before telling you what we bring them, maybe what keeps them in the hub is that they created it. Most of the organizations or companies who are today um, shareholders, because it's a company, so they are shareholders. They contributed to the creation of the hub, so it's theirs, and that's a very important feeling when you are involved somewhere, that it's a bit it's yours. You're responsible for it, and we're all responsible for it. So this sense of community is very strong. Um, what does the hub do? We have a threefold organization, let's say. We are here to develop the hemp ecosystem, to make it work, to make it live, to make it share, to make it work together, cooperate. So this first part of our job is like a little bit more like what associations would do, networks will do. We work on local basis, but also at European basis to bring further more shareholders to the company, and also promote everything that hemp can bring to industries where it is maybe a little bit less developed today. So that's the first part of our job. The second part is basically we offer services to we help or developing hemp on territories, or in we help groups to develop hemp ecosystems. We have a very ecosystemic approach. So we don't help just the farmers or just the public authorities or just the industrials. We don't help unique projects with just one partner. What we do is we try to help collect groups, organize themselves, and create something bigger than them with hemp, basically. So that's what we really like to do. And why can we do that? It's not me doing it because I'm starting to be a bit quite good at hemp, but I'm not an expert. However, we have so many experts in our ecosystem that they can provide this assistance. So that's what we do for a living. We also help groups develop cooperative approaches, even sometimes not even about hemp, because that is something that is very strong in our organization. It's hemp, but it's also cooperation and how we go further together, maybe with different ways than we used to use. And the third strand of our work is more like research and development, social research and development on this particular topic. That is, we decided to use cooperation as the driver of our work, because of this 360 degrees community. It was the only way to bring them together and make them do things together, basically. So we are doing some social R&D on how you bring very, very diverse profiles and peoples and jobs work together towards something that is just more bigger than you, and not just in the benefits of your own company. So we develop hemp, we develop projects on textile, on building, in the construction sector, on cosmetics, on food. We try to develop the projects that will answer the problems we still face in the development of this industry. But we also work a lot on how we do this. Not only we do it, but also how do we do it.
That's a diverse portfolio you are having, lots of different activities, and collaboration is key, really,
Totally.
especially when it comes for the greater good. That's a very noble purpose. When you think of individuals and companies, and I know about a few who join the European Hemp Hub and they become members. So and they might not have been founders, but they join later on.
Of course.
So if in case somebody is listening to this episode and would like to join, so how would you imagine that? What is the uh, how are you going to integrate them? What is the perspective that you can provide them? That could be a very interesting question to explore for individuals, but also for companies who are looking to join the European Hemp Hub.
Thank you for your question, Beatrice, because that's a very important point. The Hemp European Hub is a dynamic organization. So when I said earlier that the people who belong to the organization belongs to them as well, and they built it together, we are still building it, and we will always be building it. So basically, everything that not everybody today in the Hemp European Hub has been there from the beginning, but everybody, at least we work in a way that everybody should feel that they are contributing to continue building it today. So basically, there's a strong sense of commitment. There are a lot of working spaces in the Hemp European Hub, and as soon as you become a member, you are part of the family basically. So it's a very open family, and everybody's welcome in all the all the spaces, and that's very important for me because I take just one example. We have groups that talk more about farming, groups that talk more about food. We have a group that is basically driving the organization on a monthly basis. So thinking about everything that's happening in the ecosystem and in the organization, and how do we adjust the way we work. And in that place, everybody's welcome. But for example, in a farming group, you have some textile specialists who sometimes come because for them it's very important to understand how it works before it comes to their units. So is welcome everywhere, because it's not because you're not an expert in one topic that you don't have something to bring and something to learn in a discussion. So and that's a little bit the same with it's quite a French organization still today, but we called it European because we really want to have this European view on things. So that's why we already have some European other non-French organizations who have joined, and it's the same. We're integrating, we are working a lot on this geographical approach, and how do we make sure that everybody feels good in the organization. For now, it seems to work. And of course, the more we have European partners, new European partners, the more we'll develop European projects, and we will be able to develop the industry further in Europe. The projects we deal with are not necessarily in France, are not necessarily where we are located in France. Just a little parenthesis, when we created the hub, it was a very local project. And because we co-built it, because we cooperated with a lot of different stakeholders to create it, we literally exploded the borders of the project, the framework, the initial framework of the project, and we continue to do that. So each time we have a new person or organization joining, basically it potentially changes a lot of things, because we have new ideas, and we have these people bring new perspectives, new ways of working. So that's why I was saying it's a very dynamic organization. And of course, we help organizations that are part of the hub, but also that are not necessarily part of the hub. Our job to support the development of ecosystems, to build projects. We don't only work with people who are shareholders, we work with anybody who wants to cooperate.
That's that's a nice description of how collaboration and something starting local as an innovation can really explode, as you said, into a global platform, just because the values are common, just because everybody's looking at industrial hemp, everybody's looking to create a greater good, and there are people from different walks of life, and they might not be an expert in one area, and they might be an expert in another area. And because of this openness and the family concept, there can be an opportunity for anyone to also change together with the organization. So
Absolutely.
that's a wonderful look on it. Also, from the past few years, that you have existed and you have created European Hemp Hub. What would you bring up as some great illustrations of collaborative projects that you are really, really proud of?
Mm. Um, well, maybe the one I'm the proudest for now, because we have a lot that are ongoing and that are absolutely amazing. But maybe it's the organization of the World Hemp Forum that took place like last year, and it was such a cooperative project. Of course, my team was at the core of it because it's a very operational project, and you really there. I mean, there's really a lot of work when you want to gather so many stakeholders from all over the world. But that was the project of all our shareholders. Since the beginning, we created the company. They wanted that, and they all got involved so much, promoting it, helping, well, not even helping, I mean, contributing to the structure of the event, the program of the event. On the spot, we had all our shareholders who were sharing, having a small sign on their arm showing that they were part of the hub, so they could help anyone who needed. They were like ambassadors for the 2 days. And also, sorry, I lost what I wanted to say. We had a group of 10 of our shareholders who met every month to drive the project. So it was such a cooperative project. I mean, it was the first time we're organizing a World M Forum. It was the first World M Forum ever. And we gathered more people than we even expected, from 26 countries. And let's say 99.9% of the people were super happy with it. And for me, I'm really proud of it because everybody got involved. Everybody felt it was their event and not just the team's event. And that's, I mean, for an organization that aims at cooperation in all our activities, that was a great success.
Absolutely amazing, and well done for opening the door and welcoming so many participants and also creators who were co-creating these events, as I understand. So probably, it's and hopefully it's going to be much bigger the next time you're organizing it. So tell us when the next time is for the World Hemp Forum, and also what is the European Hemp Hub looking forward to in the coming years?
So the date of the next forum is not set. It will be set next week, but it will probably be in the end of 2026. We aim to have an event like this every 2 years to give us a bit of time to breathe between the two of them. That's for the forum. What do we want to do in the future? We would like to develop hemp ecosystem everywhere in the world, basically. We would like to support the development not only on hemp industry, but of territories where, and the territories can be very small or bigger, like even cross-border sometimes, but ecosystems don't care about administrative borders. Ecosystems where people choose, like we did where I live, to organize an ecosystem, to cooperate with each other, to include, like we did, all the parts of the hemp world, and it's so wide, in order to develop their model, basically, because there's just not one model to develop hemp. There are plenty of ways to do it, but you have to do it seriously, carefully. It's not an easy plant. It's not a magical plant. So it needs to be done seriously. And we are really willing to help this happen in as many places as possible. And to have this hemp European hub that can support all these small ecosystems everywhere in France, in Europe, and maybe in the world. That's really our ambition today.
That's a very nice and global ambition. So all is left for me to say just well done for the European Hemp Hub, and wishing all the amazing growth and getting closer to the ambitious goals that you set, step by step, day by day, week by week, year by year. And looking forward to seeing you growing and expanding and bringing in more collaboration. And for today, thank you so much for being here, Estelle, and the Hempy Talks.
Thank you very much, Beatrix, for this invitation.